Hello and welcome to the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. I'm Claire Downham, the Queen of Calm, a transformational life coach. I was a burnt out head teacher who finally made the journey to calm after years of trying, and I want to prevent you from having to do the same. The Calmcast is a series of short explorations, gently guiding you back to your natural state, which is calm and clarity. Just listen like you would listen to music, with an open mind and curiosity. There's nothing else to do. Now let's relax into today's episode. So today's episode is entitled Circumstances. And if you haven't already heard a bit of my backstory, I burnt out almost 7 years ago, actually. It was March 2015. And as I'm making this, it's March 2022. So how I saw that in the past was that I was just very, very busy. And that's why I got ill, because I just was trying to do too many things in the world and wasn't sustainable, really, the amount of stuff I was doing and the amount of stuff I was trying to affect in the world. Now I understand it on a deeper level, I think, and that is that I was trying to control my circumstances, the people in my life, the situation I was in, my children's lives, just a lot of things, even men on online dating, and that's really not a place to go with you if you don't want to lose control, because you're not in control of any of that, and I was trying to control it, and that's what wore me out, really. I just got to the stage where there was so many things I was trying to control. It was just unsustainable. It wasn't possible for me to control all those things, but I was trying really hard to, and as a result I just got very tired and worn out, really. And I wonder really where this all starts, where this idea that when we get something in place at some point in the future, we're going to feel better, we're going to feel happier, or we're going to remove a feeling perhaps that we don't like. And it must start in childhood, because all these things do. There's a huge societal message, of course, that when we have certain things, house, car, 2.4 children, nice partner, all those things, that suddenly a beam of light containing all the happiness we ever need is going to pop down and hit us on the head, and we're going to feel amazing. So where does it start? Well, I mean, if you think about the very early experiences of life, I'm afraid Santa has to be held partly responsible, because there is an idea that we go to Santa and we tell him what's going to make us happy at Christmas. There's also the other things around, us and what we achieve and how that's going to make us happy. I recently spoke about success. And these two things are very, very interlinked, really, that our circumstances and success, or the idea of that, are connected. But mainly today, it's around happiness. So right from being young, we're told that when we get to a certain point, we will feel happier. And I think it's almost like a motivator, isn't it? If we think about, maybe us making somebody else happy by getting 20 out of 20 in a spelling test, for example, then there seems to be a driver to create emotional states by things being a certain way that looks extremely sensible, doesn't it? It looks like the truth, and of course it isn't. so it's when you look at the way the world is now, how people are and how people are suffering, you can see how much of it is created by that. So what's fundamentally wrong with this? You might be wondering. It looks like when I get a nice house and a car and go on holiday 3 times a year, I'll be happy. Of course it does. I mean, you see other people with those circumstances, they look happy, don't they? Perhaps it's not true, is the first thing to know. Um, so what happens is, I think, is that this in here is, our minds, our thinking, what goes on in our heads is, it is the most creative power in the universe. It's amazing at stories, and it likes the story structure. But I taught this when I was a primary school teacher: beginning, middle, and end of a story. The end is important. It seems important. There's somewhere to get to. When I get to here, when I get to the end of my story, I will get the handsome prince and be, climb on the back of his white charger and go galloping off into the middle distance. And what I'm realizing now, of course, that fairy stories have probably played a big part in this idea. There's the poor princess, not in a particularly good state in some way, shape, or form. And then the handsome prince comes along and creates happiness for her by taking her off to live in a castle, with a lovely dress, of course, which is very important. So, it's a trick of the mind, is what I'm trying to say. Just like a fairy story. A fairy story isn't real, don't you? But yet every day we start writing this fairy story. We say, right, this is where I'm trying to get to. This is the ending I'm looking for. On the back of the white horse with the prince, or whatever else it might be. So what do I need to do now to get to there? So then our head fills up, doesn't it, with all the things we need to do now, in order to manufacture this fairy tale ending where we will feel happy. And I'm only just seeing it in terms of this fairy story analogy right now. It's coming out of me fresh and new, folks, live on air. So what that then does is it makes our minds very busy. We first of all, we're thinking all the time, when I get there, I'm going to be happy. When that circumstance is the way I want it to be, I'm going to be happy. So what that kind of does, it kind of takes a piece of our thinking and pops it in the future, and that's the happiness piece of thinking. So then the happiness thinking isn't available now because it's busy off there imagining how wonderful it'll be to be in the future circumstance. And that it steals away our present moment happiness. Because realistically, it's only available here. Really, it's only available here. And the reason for that is because, have you noticed that when you get into the future, turns out that the prince has a beer belly and is a bit annoying and burps a lot or whatever. I just made up a comedy prince there, but he actually isn't all he's cracked up to be. The happy ending isn't that great. The castle's a bit drafty. And then we go, I thought this was it. But even if the circumstances exactly as we imagined it, which it rarely is, of course, we get there and our future self, the person who is then in the present moment in the circumstance that we thought we wanted, goes, actually, I'm not, this isn't really my thing now. This doesn't seem to have cracked it. And then, of course, we have to go change our circumstances again. For me, that kind of, I have to keep stacking and going further and further, really came out in my career, which was the long-term run-up to burnout, really. It just accelerated in that last 18 months to 2 years. But that was me every 4 years. Get to a new job. This is amazing. Absolutely love it for a short period of time. And then, this isn't really, I'm not quite, I don't quite feel good enough, don't quite feel happy enough, my circumstance isn't quite right, I've got to change it again. So every 4 years I moved to a promotion. That in itself was exhausting whilst dragging 2 small children along with me. So don't wait to be happy is the message of this session today. Don't wait. Don't keep looking into the future and hoping that it's there. Enjoy now. Enjoy the people around you. Enjoy the circumstances. Enjoy whatever's happening. Just try to, well, even just by letting go of the idea that the future is going to provide your happiness will allow you to see more in the present moment. There's nothing to try to do, really. That's not the message of this. And just notice. Notice right now what you have to be joyful about. Really don't wait to be happy. Thank you so much for listening. There's nothing to do now but bring some awareness to how this is working out in your life. Listen regularly to experience longer and longer periods of calm. This has been the Calmcast with Claire Downham, Queen of Calm. Take care and keep listening.